Hello students, welcome to my class. Today I will be talking about the third part of this chapter 3 and this is the actually the revision video. You might have gone through the the video but I have shot for the classes, but this video is all about the revision. So we will be talking about the third part of this chapter 3, especially the political part. So we have already learned about the right to equality, right to freedom, and right to against exploitation, and the right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and a right to constitutional remedies. So these are the few rights that we have got. Especially we call it like a classification of the fundamental rights. So today I'll be talking about the implementation of the fundamental rights, how far it is actually succeeded, and then whether it is succeeded in this present like a scenario. So we will come to know. So let us know about it, how far it has been implemented. Now when we know that despite the inclusion of the fundamental rights given to the country, and most of our people in fact some extent we are actually enjoying, and we are actually what call like implementing, but how far these are the things are actually taking the importance, or maybe the given the effect. So here even though we have got this six rights, but we do not totally remove the things which was actually prevailed in a middle age onwards, or the ancient period onwards. So that is about the untouchability. So this part also is still existing. Then a caste system, caste based discrimination also is existing, and these are the few things are actually there, which is actually creating the a kind of like a prevention for the people to come across, come contact with each other, and to mingle with each other. So therefore most of the time the scheduled caste, or maybe the Dalits, or maybe the lower caste as we call them, so these people are actually victimized here. So even in this 21st century, people are still actually engage themselves in the caste based society, especially when we talk about the mainstream society. So similarly, children under the age of like 14 years is not allowed to work in the factory, or in the mines. But today, where the children are actually, today we can see the more children are working in the mines and industries and different workplaces. So where the government is putting the eyes, it means the government is not putting the eyes totally, and then it is actually ignored, and then today these are the things are also happening. So therefore students, we can see that black and white letter, and anywhere black and white letter anything is written about the rules and regulations, but in reality we hardly see something is going on. And yeah, as I have already mentioned these two classes in the live classes, that the government is actually showing the power rather than showing the development. So that is we have to really analyze whenever we are coming across it. So however, we cannot only blame the government, however, for the unusual implementation of the fundamental rights. The lack of political awareness and the knowledge of entitlement among the general masses encourages the practices of the discrimination within the society. So it is one of the fundamental duties to preserve the unity and integrity of our nation by renouncing practices that sow the seeds of like a inequality in the society. Now there is a big like a gap, in fact we can say here what is in mentioned, that in spite of we are differences, in spite of we are not equal, and yet the what call our motives, our oneness has to be shown to the country whenever there is a country in a problem, country is in a crisis. So that is the things we have to also keep in mind. But apart from that, the people who are in the high position, especially when we talk about the caste based society, especially the Brahmins and Kshatriya and all, whenever they are in the high post, they are actually trying to make the slave of the lower caste. And today there is a condition we can see in the different parts of the our states. So therefore, how long this will go on, and how long, you know, most of the time you see that let us see the right from the invasion has been taking place in India. From that time onwards, you have seen that most of the time the local people, especially the Adivasis, tribal societies, and scheduled caste, these are the people are actually very much victimized, and they are actually deprived of their properties, land, and now they are actually have become the permanent slave. Now, for example, even in the tea garden setup, when we see there, the people are not owner of their own land. Why? Because in earlier time, it is the a kind of like a contract basis, like a activity. The farming has been taken place, and then by cheating, by giving the a kind of like a false like a provocation. Uh, Many people actually, they believe these people, and then they hand over the things and all. But then, the people who took this land and all, only as a few, like a handful people who were very rich, and then a very having everything available. Such kind of people actually adopted everything, and then today, for example, people are becoming laborer in the tea garden, but not they are not the owner of the land. So that is the actually the rules and regulations. Even in this 2020 also, we can see few like a law was actually implemented in the country, and that's why today we can see in the Gazipur border or Tikia border and all, many of the farmers have come from their own places, and then they are protesting against this law to draw back. But then, the government is not listening to them, and the government is actually even not ready to talk with these farmers. The government is trying to make the amendment, only some little changes the government wanted to do, but not totally. They're withdrawing back this what called the law, which is actually the farmers considering it is the black law for themselves, because it has been taken place when there was a pandemic. People were totally at home, and it was a time of the lockdown, and people couldn't go anywhere. And at this time, the majority, especially majority like a ruling party, BJP, has taken this decision, and then they have passed this particular law. So as a result of that, this law will be ruining the condition of the poor farmers, because you have seen that in an earlier time how this handful people, especially rich people from the Europe as well as from the Indian side, many of the people actually joined together, and then they did this contract farming, and then how this contract farming actually ruined the condition of the poor people, especially in India. So that's why it should not be repeated again and again. And the government is not even hearing about it, not even ready to debate on this, but they are just shutting up their ear, and they are engaging themselves busy in the election campaign, which is coming forth in the Uttar Pradesh. So now almost 7 months is passed by, and still the government is not ready to talk to farmers with regard to this land laws. So students, as we read about the fundamental rights and duties and all, these are the rights and things. Rights are given to us, and yet many of the rights are actually we are not able to enjoy because of the government's so much like atrocity to the common people. And right now the government in fact is trying to make the things worse, we can say that. The government is not trying to see that what is going wrong, what the people actually suffering from, what the people actually look for, and what the government actually promised. And whatever the agenda was actually put forward here during the speech, especially the when the government was not on the power, but those agendas were actually not fulfilled, not even a single one. So it was just a kind of like a false promise is done to the common people, and common people were very much trapped, and they were taken up, and then they voted, and then today they are suffering. Today they are very much suffering because you see the Indian gas is very costly, petrol is very costly, diesel is very costly, and edible oil, for example, we are using it, and prices like onions, potatoes, then dal, cereals, sort of like things and all, and also vegetable. Many other things are actually in the market. You see today increased, and people do not have the money to eat themselves, especially to survive. Recently, what I have experienced in the Banarasi, people are actually surviving with their boat service, and now due to the lockdown, the government has already banned not to go for the or not to cross the river. So many of the boat, especially the people who are earning through these sources, especially boat serving and all, these people are not able to earn anything, and these people are dying in a hunger. Many people have been, especially like what I have heard or seen from the different resources, that many of the ladies who had the jewelries, they have sold, and then they are actually after selling it, they are surviving with that jewelry, and they are eating rice, and buying the rice, and then they are surviving themselves. And same as like in a Jharkhand, in a Chhattisgarh, in a Rajasthan, many other places, you can see that many people especially couldn't say to survive themselves. Many of the in remote areas of the Adivasis who were actually engaged themselves in the mine places, especially they were digging coal, and they were selling legally or illegally and all, and yet today those mines were already closed down due to the lockdown, and then they did not have any sort of survival resources. So they are in a trauma really, and government is not putting any eyes on them. Thank God there are some NGOs which is actually going and supporting and helping these people somehow, providing some rices and all. So these are the condition of the governments actually, and it is actually totally the failure of the government. So therefore, when we talk about the implementation of the fundamental rights, you see that the fundamental rights are there, but then it is not actually practiced. So a country like India, a very vast country, and it is in the process of the growth. But if this is the condition will be there, then India will not progress. India will not be called as a superpower in a later period. So ultimately, nearly 92 or 90% of the people, in fact, in this country is going to ruin their life, and so they will be dying in a hunger, and people will not have the jobs, and all these areas everywhere actually creating the some kind of a problem. So the government, I don't know for what purpose is today is there, and what the government actually for. So there is no meaning. So that is how the violation of the fundamental rights we have seen. So therefore, we have to understand that fundamental rights that is given to us, and also the government who is supposed to do justice for everyone else at this time, it is not done. So many other negativities have been there. I can talk thousands and thousands of negativity of the government right now, but thing is that since these are the things are actually not part of my discussion in this video. So anyway, so let us know about also the last part of this chapter, especially fundamental duties. So when we talk about the fundamental duties, some of the fundamental duties that we have got, we need to realize, and we need to follow up. So example, abide by the Constitution of India and respect its ideals, and also institutions, then national flags, national anthem, Secondly, we have to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired the freedom struggles of our nation. Then a third one, uphold and safeguard the sovereignty, uh, unity and integrity of the country. Then a fourth one is defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Fifth one is promote harmony and a brotherhood among people, irrespective of their religion, language, and regional and sectional diversity. Sixth one is renounce derogatory practices against the dignity of women. Seventh one, value and preserve the rich cultural heritage of the country. Eighth one is protect and improve the national environment, including forest, lakes, rivers, and wildlife. Ninth one, be compassionate for living creatures. Tenth one is develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. 11th one is protect public property and renounce violence. And 12th one is strive towards excellence in every field of personal and collective activities, so that the nation constantly rises towards higher levels of the development. And the last one is provide educational opportunities to the children between the age of 6 and 14 years. So these are the fundamental duties that we are given by the constitution, and this is how actually the India is supposed to be. And then let us know about the importance of the fundamental duties. Now see, the fundamental duties are actually an important part of the constitution of India, as they serve various purposes. Now which are the purposes? So they supplement the fundamental rights by reminding us that while enjoying our rights, we should also be aware of our duties towards the other citizens of our country. And they infuse the citizens with a sense of responsibility, patriotism, and a brotherhood. Despite being not enforceable by law, they outline the measures that we can adopt that contribute towards the overall development of the country as well as ourselves. So they teach us to respect the ideals upheld by our leaders and freedom fighters who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of our country. They strive to make our country a harmonious country, free from all kinds of discrimination, prejudice, and inequalities. So these are the few things that is we need to keep in mind as we read this particular chapter. So student, now you have to analyze that we are given this rights and duties. Now how far your and mine is the responsibility to fulfill these are the things and all. Okay, now I can understand that you and me are actually fulfilling the responsibility. But what about the government? What about the state government? If the state government or the central government is not taking any initiative towards the betterment, towards the development of these people who are part and parcel of this country, then perhaps there will be no other choice. You know, today you and me, it's not possible to become a kind of like a self-dependent. Why? Because to survive we need money, and to get the money from where we will be getting, unless we will be given the jobs, unless we will be given the security by the government. So that's why I can say that total responsibility is on the government to take care of their citizens, and to make the citizens of country to be a better way, and to develop the government should take a very different initiative to make people study, to make people construct, to make people innovate. More and more things should be actually given opportunity, and should create the opportunity. For example, the government promised 2 crores of job in 1 year. In every year, 2 crores of job the government promised in 2014 in the agenda, and yet people lost 2 crores of job in the pandemic time. So where this promise is gone? So therefore, whenever the government is promising, that has to be reminded. That has to be reminded very strongly. And I think the opposition party, the opposition ruling party is existing, but I feel that they have become like a puppet. They are not given the due care on many of the regards. Why they are not giving the due care on that regard? The reason behind, perhaps they during their tenure, during their time, they might have done a lot of corruption in a different setup. And so when they want to force the government right now to the ruling party, then the ruling party may put the CBI and ED inquiry on these people, and then these people are not able to open up their mouth because they have undergone already some sort of like a corruption. So today, for example, you and me, the common people, have to be aware about the motives of the government. So today the game is played between the like two group of communities, like a Hindu, Muslim, or maybe Christian, Jain, or Buddhist, and the government is playing the game to make us fool all the time. And this particular fooling system will be going on. And to, for example, we will gain nothing, but we will fight to each other. Here the Hindu also have to be aware about what the government's motive, and here Muslim also has to be aware about the government's motive, what exactly the government wanted to do. And when the government will do, whether we are a victim, we are going to be victimized. In the violence, both the groups are dying, so that has to be keep in mind. So therefore, so how we can accept, how we can work, how we can carefully handle the situation. Both the communities should be aware about it, and therefore educate yourself very strongly. Educate yourself. Till you educate and till you will be aware about the politics of this government, you are not going to do anything. You are not going to succeed anything. So therefore, keep in mind all these areas, and know about your fundamental rights and also your duties to serve the country. So okay, in the next class I will discuss with the other chapters. So thank you, and have a great day ahead.